Well, hello YouTubers, it's me, Juan. Welcome to Lower Decks. Well, hello again YouTubers, and welcome back to Lower Decks, episode 3, número 3. Before I continue, I want to say thank you to a friend, Leslie. Hey, Leslie F. I'm not going to say your last name, Leslie F. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate that. For today, what I had ready, it was some more possible solutions to this gun violence issue. And we had a busy week in the Second Amendment arena, if you want to call it that way. If I am not mistaken, Major Bloomberg is fixing to jump into the race for the presidency. This guy is just a anti-gunner. I've seen an interview with him. I don't have it right now with me. If I find it, I'll put it in the description of this video, or I may just go ahead and do a video just on that by itself. But this guy is an anti-gunner, so you really don't want that to be in there, Mr. Bloomberg to get in there. We also had a shooting in California. Sad shooting. If I'm not mistaken, I don't know how many people got hurt, but two teenagers died in the shooting in California. Now, my heart goes to the people that are going through this right now. This is a terrible tragedy. If it was me, I'll be going nuts right now. But in the area of gun control, because that's what I've been talking about for the last 3 videos, including this one. In the area of gun control, California have some of the strictest gun controls in the United States. How in the hell did this kid got hold of a weapon and then went and did this shooting in school? I don't understand. But then you're gonna see the politicians jumping on the bandwagon of gun control. We need more gun control. I don't know what else more gun control they want. They have all they want in California. What it's gonna wind up being is that it's gonna wind up being a complete registration and confiscation of firearms. That's where you're heading to. But that actually segues in part of the topic that we're going to talk about today. For today, what I wanted to do is present you with some other of the solutions that I have, but I think, and one of these solutions is, listen, if you are a parent, if you're a gun owner, you have guns in your house, you have weapons in your house, you're a gun owner. The burden that we as parents have to bear, it is that we have to look up our guns. I'm not sure if that's what happened with the situation in California, but it sounds very much like it. That some kid that got hold of the parent's weapon. And I'm not saying that that's what happened, because I don't know. I read one article about this shooting, and I've seen some clips in the news media, and I'm not entirely sure. But that's what it sounds like. There's a kid that ended up getting in hands on a parent's weapon, and ended up committing this act of violence in the school. But we as parents, that's a burden that we have to bear. Lock your guns. Lock your guns. And I remember a long time ago, I used to talk with other gun owners, and a lot of people would jump on me on this because, if my guns are locked, my guns are not ready, with something is going to happen at the house and whatever. Listen, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying, lock your guns, doesn't mean that you're not going to be ready, to protect your family. When I'm saying lock your guns, what I'm saying is, let me give you an example of what I used to do. I don't do it anymore because I lost all my guns in a boating accident. But what I used to do is that my kids were young, and we needed to have our weapons because my wife and I both were in law enforcement. So I used to look up all my guns except for one or two that I would have with me. Sometimes I'd be at home in shorts t-shirts and sandals, but I'll be carrying maybe pocket carry or something, that you're going to be comfortable at the house. You don't have to be completely unprotected, but I don't want you to think that to be ready, you also are going to sacrifice, leaving things to a chance that your child is going to get a hold of one of your weapons and commit an act of violence like that. Listen, I don't want to be in that situation. I really don't. I don't want to know that my child went to school, he committed an act like this with a weapon that I could have looked up. It's just unimaginable. I just don't. It's inconceivable to me. I don't want to go through something like that. In the case of locking your guns, what we did is that we took our children, all of them, and we took the curiosity out of the issue. That was our second approach to this issue. We took the curiosity out of the issue. I showed them what the weapons were, showed them what they do, safety and all of that. I took them to the range. The ones that are the age that they were able to handle it, I took them to the range, and that took the curiosity out of the issue enough that we didn't have any problems. So that was my approach. That's what we did. I'm not saying that that's what you have to do. In the case of locking your guns at home, listen, you just need to lock your guns at home. If you actually don't want to spend the $15, maybe I think it's about $15, maybe a little more, to a trigger lock or something like that for your weapon. Trigger lock is a device that you put in your weapon that renders a weapon safe, and you cannot operate the weapon. If you can't afford trigger lock because you're in a tight spot, listen, I've been in a tight spot. Actually, well, never mind. I'm not going to say I'm in a tight spot right now. You can't actually. There's a program. Let me take a look here, and I will put links in the description to all these websites and all the videos and everything that I want to show you, as I always do. The first one that I want to point you at is Project ChildSafe. Project ChildSafe is the largest, most comprehensive firearm safety educational program in the U.S. It was developed by National Shooting Sports Foundation, the trade association for the firearms industry, and is committed to promoting genuine firearm safety through the distribution of safety education messages and free firearm safety kits. The kits include a cable-style gun locking device and a brochure. Listen, Project ChildSafe, they'll give you a safety kit that includes one of those locks. I was going to show you one because I do have one, but I couldn't find it quick enough for when I was going to do the video. So, but they do have it. It's a long trigger lock that it can be used safely in a shotgun, rifle, pistol, or revolver. So that's a possibility that's right there. Project ChildSafe. They have a listing of law enforcement agencies that are participant in this program. And I wanted to find out if my local law enforcement was a participant of this program. And actually, I found in my area, the local law enforcement, it is a participant of the area. The list is very long. So 9 out of 10 that your local law enforcement is a participant of this program. So that's no excuse for not locking your weapons. That you get it for free, man. They give you a brochure, they give you the information, and they give you a kit with this lock. So there is no excuse. If you're still leaving your guns unlocked at your house, it's because you want to. And you're leaving things to a chance. That's my take on it. I know that some guys may get mad at me for this, but you're leaving things to a chance. So Project ChildSafe. In the area of educating your children, there are actually programs that you can use. You don't have to just wing it like we did. Actually, we wing it. We're grateful that we did the right thing because we never had problems. Our children are all grown now, and we never had any problems. And they're passing on, they're passing on to their families. But let's say you have small children, and you are looking for something that you can use to educate small children. I found a program that is the Eddie Eagle videos. Now, mind you, be careful here because this is from the NRA. Oh my God, the NRA, a terrorist organization. Get out of here with that. The Eddie Eagle program. I'm not going to make you go through the video. I will put a link to the description. I will show you just a little bit. It's a program that is for young children that teaches them what to do in the case they find a firearm. Basically, stop, don't touch it, run away until a grown-up is what you're going to see in the video. I'm not going to make you see this video now because it will drive me nuts. But it's actually a good program, something that you can use. If you're going to do this with your children, well, that's what I'm trying to say. Do it with your children. Just don't let them watch and not knowing what's going on with it. But it's a good place to start. Good place to start. The Eddie Eagle program. So those are the solutions that I'm proposing in that area. Start children education early, teach them right. You have the ability to do so, and you have programs out there. In the case of this Eddie Eagle program, one thing I was forgetting something. One thing that I wanted to say is that it's not only that you're going to leave your guns at home. Imagine if your child is playing somewhere in school and they all of a sudden find a gun in somebody's backpack, or that have fallen from somebody's backpack, or something laying in the ground, something like that. Do your children know what to do? That's another advantage of the Eddie Eagle program. So have your children watch it. Use this tool. Now, in the case of school shootings, it's a little more difficult than just education at home. The education at home is important, and looking for weapons is important. I don't know how many times I can say this. It's very important. For school shootings, there's actually solutions for these programs, and solutions for this issue. And what I found is two programs. One of them is Faster Saves Lives, and the other one is School Shield. And mind you, School Shield is from the NRA, a terrorist organization, according to California. So these two programs, Faster Saves Lives. Let me just give you the video promo that they have here. Just play the video promo, and we'll get back to this. It's not long.
Hi, my name's Jim Irvine, and I'd like to talk to you about how and why FASTER saves lives. FASTER is an acronym that stands for Faculty and Administrator Safety Training and Emergency Response. It's designed for our school staff and administrators to deal with active killers. It involves having a firearm in the schools by trained staff and medical supplies to treat injuries. Now, we all know that FASTER responses save lives. We see it every day. Heart attack victims, stroke victims, whether it's a car accident or a drowning or any sort of injury, the faster we treat that person, the more likely they are to make a full recovery. So this is a normal concept. Now we're just applying it in a different way. Let's talk about in the aftermath of a killing. We've got maybe dozens of injured kids that are bleeding from gunshot wounds. But most people shot survive those if we just get treatment. Now, our police may not have been there when we wanted them, but trust me, they're on their way. Our medical staff in most communities, however, in a different situation. They're responding not to the scene, but staging in a safe location. And they can't come in until law enforcement has declared the scene safe. That can take 30 minutes or even upwards of an hour. In the meantime, your staff can die from the blood loss. So what we need is an adequate and appropriate way to stop that bleeding. That's done through a program the military calls it TC3, or Tactical Combat Casualty Care. At its heart, what we're doing is stopping the bleeding and making sure they can breathe. We do that with compression bandages, tourniquets, and chest seals. This is an important part of our FASTER training, and we get those supplies into the schools so that they can treat them. This is something I think everybody can agree that schools need. Now at their heart, these killers are generally cowards, and there's lots of ways to stop them, and a lot of ways that have been successful. But we don't want ways that work some of the time or most of the time. We want the most reliable. Law enforcement uses firepower to stop an active killer because that has been shown to be the best and most reliable way. And citizens do it in other places too. It's worked wonderfully throughout our country for decades. We're now simply applying that in our schools, but to make it safer, we're adding additional training to your school staff so that they can better understand active killers and more accurately and appropriately respond to and stop that threat. Stop that killer as quick as we can. Once that killer is stopped and the scene is secure, now immediately transfer to medical treatment of our injured, our staff and our students, and get them treated. As they're doing that, our first responders will be showing up. We can transfer the scene to law enforcement. They can declare the scene cold, and we can start transferring our live patients to our medical responders. We can work together, and then our staff can hug our children and return them to our parents. That's what this program is designed to help you and the school administration do. Stop the killing, treat the injured, save our children, comfort them, and then return them back home like you do every other day. We appreciate the love and the respect and the time and care you give our students every day. Thank you. We appreciate your help, and we look forward to working with you in your school districts.
Okay, we're back. Faster Safe Lives, created by concerned parents, law enforcement, and nationally recognized safety and medical experts. Faster is a groundbreaking nonprofit program that gives you educators practical violence response training. Classes are provided at no cost to your school district. All right, people, what excuse do you have to not implement any of these programs in school and have our children safe in school and not having to go through all this dance about gun control? There's no excuse. This is a program that is at no cost. It is not only for neither of these programs. They just focus on bringing guns in school, and teachers are going to be like cowboys, hanging around with guns hanging up their sides and leaving guns in the drawers, and the kids are going to get none of that. Yeah, but this is a very well thought out program. Actually, especially Faster, I like it because they have the trauma part, the medical parts, where you're going to have, they don't call it like that. I do call them, you're going to have your medical first responders that in case of any other emergency or a shooting at the school, you're going to have your medical first responders that are going to be able to tend whoever's hurt, regardless of what the emergency is. You're going to have also your firearms responders, of course, but you have the bonus of having your medical first responders, which is very important. One thing that I wanted to tell you about that is that I don't have the information in front of me, so don't quote me on this one. But from what I understand is that people that are shot with especially firearm ammunition, not rifle or shotgun, firearm ammunition, meaning pistols or revolvers, have an 85% probability of survival, as long as obviously you don't know a coup de grace shot or anything like that. Hopefully I'm not going to be demonetized on YouTube for saying this, a coup de grace shot. But have 85% of survivability if that person receives medical attention immediately. And that is true because I was a first responder. I was actually a instructor for the department that I used to work for. And that is true. If a person that is shot with a firearm ammo have a great deal of possibility of surviving if that person is stand to. The good thing about this is imagine if you have a big school and you have a situation like shooting. And so what happens is that once law enforcement goes in response to this situation, the EMTs, emergency medical system, is not going to be able to go into the scene and tend to anybody until law enforcement declares that zone safe. So that can take whatever it's going to take. It can take, I don't know, an hour. And in that time frame, you can have casualties that did not need to die that could have been saved. So in the case of a situation like that in a school, they have is participate in this type of program. You can have your own medical responders on site tending, saving lives. I don't understand why is it that people don't ask for these programs in school, because this is not just about guns. The NRA program also has a similar features to this one. Let me just go ahead and put you through the promo video from the NRA School Shield.
School Shield has a singular mission, and it's to protect our children through advocacy, education and training, and grant funding efforts. We developed this training program that tries to facilitate that vital partnership between schools and their local law enforcement agencies and trains these individuals how to conduct a vulnerability assessment. So one of the things that we want to talk about, and I think it's probably one of the first misconceptions when we talk about the NRA School Shield program, is it's NRA. So it must be about firearms in schools, it must be about arming our teachers, and it absolutely must only be covering active shooter events in our schools. And that couldn't be further from the truth. When you complete an assessment, you end up receiving a report that identifies those findings, the observations, and then considerations for how to mitigate those potential vulnerabilities. So it's important because it gives you that roadmap for the things that you now want to look at and that commitment to making your school more secure. The great thing about School Shield Security Assessor Training is that it's completely free to communities. We are here to assist if you want to make your schools more secure. Many don't realize 1 in 6 Americans steps foot in our schools on a daily basis. They're not just a place for education, they're a primary employer, they're a place for sporting events, they're a stage for theater, they're places where we go to vote. So they are a very central part of our community, and that's why it's important to talk about why we need to make them more secure. For parents, the number one thing that we ask you to do is please be an advocate. Go into your PTA meetings or your PTO meetings and ask your school, what are they doing to help make that school more secure? What are they doing to protect your children? Some individuals are sensitive to the fact that it's the National Rifle Association that's behind this effort. I think that this is one area where we need to put politics aside, and we can all agree that we want to protect our children.
Okay, we're back. NRA School Shield. School security is a complex issue with no simple solution. I said that. You heard it here first. The NRA School Shield program is committed to addressing the many facts of school security, including best practices in security, infrastructure, technology, personnel, training, and policy. Through this multi-dimensional effort, NRA School Shield seeks to engage communities and empower leaders to help make our schools more secure. So again, we have another program that is free to your school district. They're going to train you, they're going to help you with whatever certifications, whatever state requirements. They're going to give you support. Why are we not using these programs? Because we just want to get everybody's guns? Is that what it is? Why are we not using these programs? I don't understand. I just don't understand. So these are the solutions that I offer to you. Children education from an early age. Lock your damn guns at home. Don't be a bonehead and look up your damn guns. And how about these school programs that are going to be free to your school system, to your school district? That provides not only safety against firearms, that also provides you with a medical emergency training. I just don't understand why we're not implementing this in school. But I'm going to leave it right here. I'm going to leave you always with the things that I always leave you at the end of the video. I'm just getting them more together. 3 things that I always tell you. Love your God. Love your family. And protect your freedoms. For the ones that carry weapons out there for one reason or another, maybe law enforcement or not, or you just decide to exercise your Second Amendment rights, I'm going to leave it with this. May my weapon never leave its holster in anger, but only for the protection of life and freedom. Carry responsibly. Responsible ownership of firearms. Thank you very much for watching. Have a good night. Well, thank you very much for watching. If you like the content of my videos, I'm going to beg you to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you'll be notified whenever I download new videos. Again, thank you for watching Lower Decks.